What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again. I got the CRKT No Time Off designed by Flavio Ikoma to review for you guys today. I'm actually doing this one next because I had a commenter. His name is ADMWAS24. ADM was 24. This one's for you. You wanted to see it next, so here you go. This was a knife I was interested in for a long time. I never pulled the trigger. I thought it was a little bit too weird, and I'm so glad I purchased it, guys. It surprised me a ton. I love this knife. We'll get into why, but first I'll give you guys the specs. We'll go over all the cool innovations and features this knife offers. So we have a just under 3-inch blade, a 4 1/4 inch length closed, and then a 7 1/4 inch length overall. So a good size knife. I think it's right in that medium size category. I kind of chose this knife because it's got that sub 3-inch blade, so I thought it'd be a good travel knife. One that I can just throw in my, my check bag. If I need a knife anytime I'm out on work or vacation, this would be a good one to take, and I was right. So the weight on this knife, though, was 5.9 ounces because it's got a thick blade, thick handle, full stainless steel liners, closed construction. So it's a beefy, stout knife. And I don't notice the weight anymore. That's how much I like this knife. It weighs almost 6 ounces at this size. That is heavy. But to be honest with you guys, I don't care. I like the knife. It performs very well. And that weight is just completely ruled out for me because of the awesome design of the pocket clip and, the ability of the blade. The blade thickness on this is 0.15. It's made out of CTS BD1. It's Carpenter steel. I actually love this steel. I'm liking it more and more. It's on my Manix 2 lightweight. It's easy to sharpen. Keeps a good edge. Very corrosion resistant. I just think it's a great kind of mid-range steel. It's awesome. As you can see here, it is satin finish, reflecting all that light. Gorgeous finish on this knife. Absolutely love it. It features kind of a high hollow grind, kind of a weird swedge taken out there, kind of a reinforced tip. You guys can see that maybe if I do this. Yep. So a funky blade shape for sure. It's a drop point, but it's almost a sheep's foot to me. This point drops down so far that anymore this would definitely be a sheep's foot. And I don't know how I felt about that blade shape at first, but it is very, very useful. This is no tactical knife. I don't even think it's an outdoor kind of folder. This is just a work knife. It gets no time off, just like the name. It's a great shop knife, as Flavio Ikoma kind of designed it for. It's really been good at every task I've put it through. The hollow grind on this thing is just absolutely mean. You can really see the grind lines, and that satin finish comes down to just a wicked edge. CRKT is written on the flats on this side, and then you have the no time off, the name, Ikoma design, patent pending, and then the IKBS logo. So that's the deployment method, guys. It's with this flipper here. You got some jimping on the back of it. It has IKBS ball bearing system, also designed by Ikoma. Really flies out there just like my CRKT Deviation and Outrage. But I love the blade shape. Can't say enough about that. The deployment is very smooth because it's riding on that ball bearing system, but I would really recommend you guys do the push button kind of deployment method where you push down on the flipper instead of the, what do they call it, the light switch method where you pull back. Both work okay, but you can get this thing to fail if you kind of do that method. But if you push down, there's no way that blade's not going to deploy. So closing is very smooth with that ball bearing system as well. Detent's not bad. You can see it kind of suck back into the handle. It's a little bit stronger than I can show you guys. You need to get a little bit of force behind it. But I love how the blade flips out. It's one of the best manual opening systems, I think, that you can buy, other than some ZTs or some Spydercos or something like that are a little bit smoother. But for the price point of anywhere from 55 to 80, this thing is a good deal. I got mine for around 60, and it was $60 well spent. That brings us to lockup, which is a liner lock. This has full stainless steel liners. I don't think, nope, they're not skeletonized either. Sorry, this thing is pretty dirty. I've been carrying it quite a bit, which is probably a good sign for you guys, right? If you guys are thinking about this one. Liner lock's hitting just a little bit early. I like its lockup. There's no blade play in any direction. This thing is just solid. And this also features the ILS locking system. That's Ikoma locking system. That's this little lever right here, spring loaded. Puts a little pin right there in between the glass-filled nylon handle and the liner. So you can't close a knife unless you pull back on the ILS and close a knife. So it's an added safety feature. It works very similarly to the lock system, the LAWKS, except it's on the front side instead of on the back with the lever. It works pretty well. I mean, it takes a little bit of getting used to hit this first and then move the liner over. But as you carry the knife, it becomes second nature, just doing it in one motion, just like that. It's got some jimping on it to move it over. It's fairly safe. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but I'm never going to complain too much about an added safety feature, so you don't do some sort of torquing motion and close a knife on your hand when you're using it, and end up cutting your finger. So I think it's pretty innovative. I mean, Ikoma's designs always are, and this one is very ergonomic as well. You get a forward finger choil here. We'll start with that. It's got a little bit of jimping on it, similar to one Spyderco offers. So this is your normal traditional grip. If you want to move up and get some finer control, you can do that. You got some jimping here on the spine of the blade. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not super grabby, but you get some purchase on it. And then my favorite feature of this knife is this jimping right here on the spine of the blade. That's good for your drag cuts when you're using your finger. If you really need to choke up on that blade and cut something, there's just even a divot for your thumb. It's just a great innovation that makes this knife very user-friendly regardless of how you want to hold it. There's just so many grips that feel very comfortable in hand. So this handle material is glass-filled nylon, just that hard plastic. It's got a waffle texture to it, kind of like a waffle iron. It's pretty grippy, to be honest with you guys. It's very tough. There's a whole lot of it there. So I'm not scared whatsoever to drop this blade. I think this thing could take a real beating with its ILS locking system and this tough handle material. To be honest with you guys, the only thing that's really weird to me on this knife are these cutouts here. There's just an empty circle on either side. And then this one might be just for some added texture, but it's a little weird. They left them kind of sharp. If you guys know what those are, feel free to tell me, because I just don't know. But this is screw together construction, so you can take all these pieces apart. Got a kind of a stylized pivot there too. That's kind of cool. Blade centering was dead on when I got it. I didn't Loctite this, so it's moved over a little bit to this side, just because that liner lock's pushing it over. The handle is very thick, though. We're definitely talking 0.6 inches or something like that. Because it has full stainless steel liners, thick, glass-filled nylon scales, and then your full backspacer with some ribbing all over it to aid in your grip. And that's why I was so confused why I like this knife, because it's thick, it's chunky, it's short, and traditionally I like the thinner, lighter weight blades, and this thing has just really grown on me. So it might for you guys too. There is a lanyard slot here for your paracord, and then let's get to this pocket clip, which is probably one of the coolest features of this knife. Now it is one position and it is tipped down. When I saw that, that was kind of what held me back from buying this knife. And I'm such a fan of this pocket clip, it's insane. So this is meant to ride in shorts or pants that have the pocket that does this instead of the flat pocket like Levi's and stuff have, the older ones. This will kind of dangle in your pocket weird if you have that. But if you're wearing shorts or something, most pants and shorts have now, the pocket's kind of at an angle, and this just nestles right against the back of your pocket. So it's very easy to pull out and deploy. It is deep carry, and the best feature about it is it's nestled within the glass-filled nylon handle. So they milled some of that out, you screw it in, and then it just loops over. It's very easy to access and put in and out of your pocket. It's very thin, so you hardly feel it. That was one of the other YouTube reviews I watched. He said there's absolutely no hot spots with the pocket clip on this knife. I'd have to disagree a little bit. This is turned up just a little bit too much, where it kind of digs into your palm if you're really getting into it, but nothing too serious. So that is the CRKT No Time Off. Great blade, great steel, phenomenal ergonomics, just a beater, a user knife. that will not let you down. So I absolutely recommend this knife, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll have more knife videos coming. I might even do some sort of multi-tool or flashlight, review too, because I'm into all that sort of EDC stuff. So stay tuned.